Okay.
We should call the meeting to
Yes.
order. We should stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we should start talking about all the stuff. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh. Welcome, Dr. Silva Napton, and we're going to talk about special education. So, this is.
Okay.
Has a question.
In the last 2-3 months, you've been talking about adding a third preschool classroom. It's not in the budget.
So, I think, are you talking about at the board meetings?
Yes.
I've been discussing high preschool needs, absolutely. High preschool needs. So, how do we handle these high preschool needs? I went ahead and did a little bit of just some data on the numbers, and they really, over the last 10 years, they've been steady with the 2 classes that we've had. So that was important for me to get that data. I'm also talking with the principal, with the preschool coordinator about how to handle these kids. There are other ways that we can handle them without adding an entire classroom.
Okay,
There
good.
really are. Yeah, we really have been being very creative. Some of the things we can do is we can service the kids in their current preschool,
Yep.
which we are willing to do.
They used to do that.
Yep, so I said that that was an option that we're going to look into for the spring. And then we can, we did add a few community slots this year. So next year, we will be having to limit our community slots a little bit more again, because it's a special ed room and we have to service our kids. We still need typical teachers, but we may, instead of 7, we may only allow ourselves 3 or 4. So there is room for growth, and we did not put a second teacher. We do not need her for next year.
Okay.
We do need to get creative in this spring. I'm talking about January, February, March. I've been talking to Dr. Costa about that, but we will absolutely bring anything to you if it's going to cost money. Okay? So that's staffing for preschool. Teachers are going to, teachers will stay the same grades. We have done a really good look at our pairs in the district. And the teaching staff, we are not asking for any additional teaching staff on 12-2. And then, do you want to go one page at a time or just keep talking?
Well, we're not because we're in contract negotiations, we're not actually talking
Okay, so
salaries,
skip that one.
on salaries, so we're, as long as there's no.
But there's no additions of
Staffing,
employees.
right,
Additional
staffing
yes.
changes on 2 or 3.
Okay.
And let's go
And the parents, just be aware that we do fund some through the IDEA grant, and Mariah's attached that evidence for you.
So I think we can probably start on the special ed tutors,
Well,
right?
okay.
Because those are not
1,200
for
for
regular.
So the special ed tutors we will flat fund that. That's there if we need it. Let me move on to the salary for the BCBA, because time to talk about this situation.
Yes, no, we've kind of been holding on to all salaries because depending on where negotiations land, some of these employees oversee the negotiation pieces and you don't want them at the same ranks. So that's why we're holding them.
All right, so moving on to ABA techs and RBTs. This is some rationale that Mariah and I will be talking about as we go through this budget that everybody shares right now. The first, that just happens to be the first one that comes up. So there is an increase, as you see, in that BCBA line. And it goes along with some decreases in some other lines, and that's what this piece of paper is showing you. Let me just explain why, so you can see all the differences, because there's 2 or 3 different lines in the budget. So we currently have money in out-of-district placement. Okay, we're going to show you that line in a minute. We would like to take some of that money away and give ourselves an in-house program. In order to do that, this line for the BCBA salaries, this is an in-house line, so we would need to add ABA techs to this line. That is why this line went up so much.
If you look on the next page after this, it shows you how many techs we have, and in the blue is the additional 3. So that's the proposed.
So that's the proposed for that line, and we'll get to this one in a minute. We'll stick with the book. So that's why there's an increase on that line. So you need to have your notes on it. The next line we can talk about is, that's a salary line, that's a salary line. 12.5, 12.6, they're all salaries. Move along. Salaries. Extended program. I'm working very hard with my staff to stay within the budget. We used ESSER funds. In Hampton, there are many students who have been receiving extended school year services, and it's been happening for a long time. The criteria for extended school year for special ed only is very strict and has been stretched a little, to say that. So more people are getting special education extended school year services than the law really allows for. We go above and beyond, way too far. For instance, we had 49% of our population attending extended school year this summer. We do not have 49% of our special ed kids who require extended school year services. We do not. We definitely do not. So I'm working really hard with them. We're going to flat fund it at the 50. And, I've given all the teachers, actually just the other day, criteria about extended school year, sheet how to show the data, why the student needs extended school year, and the reason why a child would need extended school year is if when they go home on January break and if when they go home on February break, they come back to school dysregulated or regressing in any way academically, or if they have strong behavior that they cannot, that they regress and forget about how to handle their behaviors, they would require extended school year. Okay, does that make sense?
And losing a year in the summer, isn't that what they say?
Yes, yeah.
That's what it's based on.
So we will leave that and this is also a team decision. Okay, so I'm not telling anybody that they can't have it. I'm just saying follow the criteria and hold your IEP meetings and make it a team decision.
Can I go back? I got behind here.
Okay.
So talking about on page 1200-4.
Yes.
Talking about the increase from 461,881
Yes.
to 647,799.
Yeah.
And I get the 3 ABA techs, but that's only $100,000.
Oh, the RBT at Hampton Academy at the bottom, it says Academy vacant RBT. If you add, I think if you add those 4 numbers together.
Well, and I
Is that
think
right?
you have to put in,
No, that's not.
no, I do not, so is my benefit in there?
Just hear me out for a minute.
Okay.
You've got 3 increases of 33,500. You got the RBT at the academy is another 33. That's 133, but the budget went up 175. I'm just.
Oh, well, so the on this sheet, on the next program, we're just adding the 3 ABA techs, right? On that, it's the percentage increase for their salaries too, also on that. For all the ones that are originally.
And let's talk about that for a minute.
But that we were holding until we have.
I don't think 5% would do that, but let me just do my math here.
So it's,
You got 33.5.
so
You got 99, you got
185 by 18.
there's a $51,500, we'll call it a discrepancy
I see
for
that.
purposes of the conversation.
correct.
I see that. Mariah and I are gonna have to look at that. We were trying to make sure that all the lines showed exactly what it needs to show with this.
It went up $176,000.
So it's,
It did go up
so
100.
Mariah's right. So the 461,881 is, so if you look at the Tier 2 list, 461,881 is default budget.
Yeah.
0 salary increases for him. The bottom includes both 5% increase for everyone, plus the additional ABA techs, plus the RBT at the academy. So if you would just look at one line, so AI, I'm sorry.
Well, once you take 461,881 and add 5% to it, and then add your new positions. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Or that goes back to 619, yeah.
All right, well,
It's just math, and I don't
yeah,
have
we'll
a
look at it,
calculator.
we'll look at it.
Well, let me, I can pull my spreadsheet.
We're not
Let me
voting
pull
on
the
this.
spreadsheet.
I would say we're not
Yeah.
voting on this tonight, right now. We're not addressing,
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Just, I guess for
So-
purposes of tonight,
yes.
just know that those three
It's the-
ABA techs are
yes.
doing the in-house programming, and Mariah and I will explain in detail what that means. Why it's 185,918.
Yeah, it leaves you with a 28-ish $1,000 difference. Yeah.
We will,
So it's not 51,500?
No, the 5% cuts it down.
Okay, so cuts it
Yeah.
down to 28,000.
Yes, it's 28,000. So they're gonna look at that off.
I figure
I think is fair instead of us trying to fix the math here.
Okay.
Unless Mariah can look at it and just say, oh, it's this, and that's
Well, I have to
fine,
pull up this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It's all Excel
Why don't we just
done,
so put a
so.
pin in it? I think the important thing for us is that she's adding positions.
positions, in-house positions,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you where we're gonna get the money in a minute.
So
Okay, who's supervising the NET program?
So the NEC program is supervised by the NEC program, the New England Center for Children.
Okay.
It's a privatized,
So we pay them.
yes.
so we'll
Well,
probably get
no, yes and no. We pay for our own staff,
Yeah,
but they oversee that. We pay for the ABA techs, they give us a BCBA.
they give you a
Well,
BCBA?
they don't. We pay for a BCBA and a special ed case manager.
so we are
Then we
probably
have
gonna
to
see an
fund
increase in that.
Oh.
We're somewhat later on. We're just
Yes, so I'll show you what
Okay.
that is.
Okay.
So if we're bringing the NEC program into Marston, what does that do? Miles isn't the BCBA,
Yep,
so
so
how is that,
Oh, right.
how does that work together?
yeah, so
Is
it is a marriage that has to occur between the administration.
I had
And
662.
the NEC program. So it's how it works. The center is
That's
they,
right.
we give them a space and they are their own entity, like we contract with them. I'm gonna show you how much it is in a minute.
5% increase.
But
brings it
they
to
provide some
484.
very specific services for some very
And you're
specific.
adding
Really,
the three
very
positions.
small amount, no more than 7 children
And
can
then
be in that room. Under the
77 for,
curriculum, lots of behavior
the
programming,
academy.
parent. I can bring you a lecture on
So
that.
I'll bring it down to less, and
All
I'll
right.
give you my Excel sheet too, so.
Okay. So yes, the premise is, we are recommending to bring NEC to Marston. That's where all these numbers are going. Okay, 12.5. Oh, we did that, sorry. Salaries, extended year, repeat. All right. Workshops and seminars, we will keep flat. Those are the meetings that I go to.
Are we moving that as we go through?
because we're not doing salary.
Well,
Okay,
this
sorry,
is
she's-
workshops.
I'm sorry, I hadn't gotten over to that yet.
This is
1207.
workshops.
Actually, before we get to that, on 1200-6,
Yes.
at the very bottom, we talk about the extended year program. It has a comment that says the 2025-26 increase is due to the need for, et cetera. But we are not asking for an increase in that. So we should just pull that. So 1200-6 at the bottom, the very last sentence
Yeah, we should.
in the last paragraph.
That was from last year. We had asked for.
Which one?
It says 25-26 increase is due to the need for, we just need to take that off before it goes
There's
to
no
budget.
increase.
That's all. There's no increase.
There's no
In
increase.
fact, it's particularly because it's a decrease.
And there's no increase.
Well, no, it's
And
last,
say
so,
that,
okay.
yeah. Okay, sorry.
Do you want to talk about
Workshops,
it?
seminars.
You don't wanna, do you wanna vote on that one?
On what?
Extended year program?
If we can,
I think you could.
I'll make a motion for that. No, extended year program.
second,
All in favor?
Thank you.
We can actually do the one above it, which is a placeholder.
I'll move that.
Second.
Thank you.
Jenny, sorry. All in favor? All right, sorry. Now workshops and seminars.
We'll keep that flat.
Yep, I'll move that. Workshops and seminars number from to keep it flat. Okay, all in favor?
Who was the first one on that? I made a
Andrew,
motion.
and then Paul.
Thank you.
All right, so
Here we go.
this
This is what we're
here we go. This is the increase, and it is a large one. If you look down at the rationale, you'll see how much the next program costs. There's one for Center and one for Marston.
We knew this was
Yes. And we're taking that money's coming from another line which is coming up, which is your out-of-district tuition. So this
which is great.
all figures out, if you want to look at this piece of paper that Mariah has given you, all the ups and downs that we're showing you, they even out to the 382,469. We're taking the spending, the tuition line, which I'll show you in a minute, and some transportation, we have deducted those. These are all the numbers we're talking about, $215,000 additional. The ABA techs are in there, their benefits, some furniture, and the Chromebooks. So that this explains each account and whether we're taking or minusing, adding or subtracting.
Are we leaving ourselves a cushion into it?
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say that
Because we added $100,000 last
Yeah,
year, and we
so-
got lucky, we had some people move out, and that's great.
Right.
But,
So, yes, I
okay,
can show you when we get to that line.
okay.
Yep, that's a great question. So this line, 1,205,0323, has gone from 231 up to 455,000. And the reason is exactly what I just said. We are proposing to bring a NEC program here to Marston School. And we are saving, so we'd like to move money from out of district tuition to this in-house program. Any questions?
Questions, comments on this? I mean, we've discussed for a while that
Yeah.
we had it at center, we were going to need to care for those kids as they moved up to Marston. Would you have it? Sorry, go ahead.
so there's gonna be a reduction in some other part of the budget.
Yes, yep. And if you look at these two, this piece of paper I gave you,
Yeah.
you'll see the reductions are the first two lines,
Okay, all right.
and then the addition to the last
Right.
5 lines. And it gives you the account numbers, whether you reduced them or not. Thank you. Just to remember, the NEC program services up to 7 children. So we're talking about a small number of children, which is wonderful. They do a great job. But I don't want anyone to think that this is a school-wide behavioral program for everybody to, come in and take a calming break. That is not what the NEC program is. It's a specific program for individual students, IEP-driven, and it's more of a self-contained, where they mainstream out to their classroom and come back to the self-contained room until we can.
Is it the students that are have more
Significant.
severe needs?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Or- okay.
yes, yeah. Yeah, very, significant, severe.
Non-verbals.
How many students are moving from Center to Marston?
I have to be very careful with this, because it's very challenging when I start saying numbers in the second grade that are moving to third grade who have high needs.
Yeah, but you gotta know that. Okay, there's 7 in Marston, there's 7 in Center. If you move 3 into Marston, you only have 4.
Right. So there's 7 slots in each program.
Right.
And we are assuring that all of the children will be serviced. So
And how many are moving out of those children that are serviced today in Marston Center? How many of those do you feel are moving on to the NIC program in?
Well, I mean, I know exactly, and I'd be happy to maybe talk offline, but I think it's really challenging to set, I don't think I should give a specific number.
If you were, let's say you're in second grade at Central,
Sure, yeah,
you're in the NEC program,
yes.
do you
Pretty clear.
automatically qualify for the NEC program at Marston, or would some kids not? I
It's
mean, I
not-
assume if you've got 7 spots,
Yeah.
you're gonna look at everyone who's gonna be in Marston.
Right, right. So
Some
the 7
people might fall
spots
off.
includes kindergarten, first grade, and second grade.
Right.
That helps, we do have 7 kids.
But my thing is, have you got the 3 children in, say you 3 are moving to Marston?
Yeah.
Do you have the 3 NEC program people for center identified? Possible.
Yes, I absolutely have programmed for, and this budget covers, the needs of any high needs kids that may be moving to Marston.
With some space, there are
With some
others.
space, absolutely.
So sometime offline or something before we go on the budget, can we find out how many spaces are reserved already?
Yes.
Because if you had like 2 or 3, then, I mean, that means you've got 4 openings.
That's right.
If you have 5 children moving up there, then you only have 2. So I think we need to know, and it also makes me very nervous considering the year we had last year with your special needs kids moving in and having to add the budget is to take away from tuition students, because with our luck, we'll have 2 to 3 students move in and then we're sunk. Because we don't have money in this budget to cover stuff. Do we?
We usually never have
We
to cover it. We are very lean and try to be responsible, right? And it's very hard because you are doing the budget a year in advance. You don't know who's gonna come in and out, unfortunately.
And from what I've seen on this budget, you've already been pretty lean.
We have some provisions in there, fortunately, I think that we've set up to allow for it, not a lot, but there is, we've allowed.
In our out-of-district
Yeah.
tuition, we're not taking all of it, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you that in a second.
It's a
But I hear what
It
you're
is a
saying.
gamble. And our gambles haven't been so well.
But we also have tried to set ourselves up with the retainage, right? Which could cover a student, and I would prefer it to be more building coverage in case of emergency for the building to go wrong, but it does cover a student, special ed students too. So, we do have an emergency that we did, emergency holding that we did set up. And I think it's the most, we retain, I just signed that for the state.
Sorry.
We retain $508.79.
Okay.
So,
That would be 2-ish.
Depends.
If we,
That's
in an emergency, in theory.
and this to me, it's like, I don't want the town did this very kindly for us. Some people feel like it's,
A slush fund.
a slush fund, and it's not, because you have to return it every year and then recalculate every year.
Yeah.
And it's really to maintain so that your budget isn't spiking and going down, and then you're not funded properly, and it's one of the biggest things that the lawyers told us that we should have, especially because we take this budget and we do keep it very lean, that we should have something to cover us. And we've done that, and I think we've done it well. So I would hope there would be no emergency. I would hope that it wouldn't happen, but we do have something there.
What's the range on our tuitions? I mean, I know they're different depending on, I don't need a whole list, but low and
have one.
low and high was more what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
so
What's our highest?
A tuition rate, you're not gonna be able to send anybody out for less than $105,000,
Okay.
just for tuition.
Yeah.
That's minimal,
Yeah.
that's the least, but most of our schools cost about $140,000.
Okay.
And then you add transportation of anywhere from $30,000 to $80,000.
Yep.
Per child. Sometimes I can ride share with other people, just depends. But yeah, it's easily $185,000 per child if wanted to add it all.
We can figure about 100 for the placement, 100 for the transportation, you're in the right, about 200-ish. Just for round numbers.
So we pulled 265 out. So we
Right.
pulled one
It's
and
one
a
little
half-ish. We basically pulled out one and then the cushion that we put in the cushion here.
Yes. But we have the retainage fee,
Yes.
and there is some other places in our,
Yep.
that we,
And also in the out-of-district tuition line, when you get there, which is a couple of things
Yeah.
down, we have a board report that has it on it, so it says 5, it did say 7. So we can do the math
Yeah.
there, and so this budget allows for one other student who is not currently placed
Yeah.
in out-of-district to come into our so that current number that's in there, minus this, still allows for one more child
And how
this year, next year.
many typically have we had move in during the year?
Oh, not more than one.
So like last,
I know though,
Yeah,
it's very hard to know.
show up?
Two did not, two did show up. Two didn't show up, then
right?
another move, it was back.
so last year was very tough because we did have 2 move
We had
in
two.
that we were not expecting.
That's correct.
We
Good to know.
talked as a team. Our technology department was really strict about making sure that they didn't spend anything that they didn't need. The custodial staff, like Keith, we didn't purchase items until we absolutely needed it, and then to the end of the year, like got things knowing that. And then we were like, well, if we manipulated the grant, because we could at that point. But we did have the retainage, and that was going to be our last resort if we needed it. We really do try to look at things when things happen and say, what can we adjust to make it work, right? Like, there's a really good team. They work together. And then somebody moved out, and all of a sudden, at the end of the year, Mariah's like, whoa, like that, like we have money to give back now. So it happens.
Yeah.
It's very hard, although I did budget for the exact amount of kids plus one in your out-of-district line, which is 1,210.
Which is kind of all you can do, right? We
Yeah,
have all the money in the world,
that's
we
very-
budget for
that's
extra
pretty
5, but
So you've got that, and you've got your retainage, and we can still bring the Marston program in. That's a pretty good switch. And Ryan and I really thought about how to make this happen without adding $300,000 to your budget and how to make that happen. So it's aligning so that we can make it happen.
Where would the money have gone if the fund wasn't there?
Where would the money have come from?
No,
So-
where would it have gone? It went because there's a warrant article, it passed, and so we got that money. Where would that money
The
go?
fund balance,
Back
Yeah.
to general
it goes back to
town.
the town. And
So
then we
the
have to, yes, because we're not a rolling,
we reassess it.
we assess every year. So we have to give it back and then ask for it back and then give it back and then ask for it back and then give it back and ask for it. So the retainage, we do the same thing. We have to return it as a fund balance. So my fund balance is whatever it would be not expended amounts plus what we retain. So that's my fund balance. And then you take your budget and it's a percentage and I have to verify it with the state and they say you can retain this amount of money. We don't even retain about 25% of it. Like we really, and my goal is to slowly retain enough for us to really have a nice cushion, but at the end of the day, still be giving taxpayers some money back. That's the goal.
So how much should we give back to the taxpayers?
We gave back all the revenues that, all of our revenues, 225,000.
Okay.
All the revenues that we got in, I gave back.
Get your check. Check in the mail.
Yeah, I didn't get my check.
Right? So,
I will get a big bill though.
I know that.
Are we, would you be okay with us going ahead and voting on this now? It's a question, or, okay, so do I have a motion, or this is for professional services?
I'll make a motion for this. For 55,000.
Do I have a second? I'll second. Any more questions before we vote? Yep, all in favor? Okay, evaluations and testing?
Okay, yep, you will flat fund.
Yep.
We'll flat fund these, those are pretty pricey, but we've been keeping our evaluations down. This is when a parent asks for an outside test assessment.
I'll make a motion to accept the 7,500.
Second.
All in favor?
Legal expenditures. So, yeah, this went up, definitely went up. There's more legal things that are happening and occurring. I mean, I did spend some money this year getting a very important legal opinion. And that legal opinion will carry us for a long, long time.
Yep.
But it takes some money. And then we had, of course, 2 due processes over the last 2 years. So I try to keep it low. If you want to cut it a little bit, I mean, again, it's a gamble.
And we're bumping it up to basically make it what we have been spending.
Right, I was bringing it up to actual.
Yep.
I move that 7,500 for legal expenditures.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Leasing, that's pretty normal, basic, we haven't done anything different with that.
Yep.
You
You wanna move that?
Flat.
Sure. Charlie, second.
Sure.
All in favor? Great, cell phone?
Standard, people still getting the same thing.
I'll move that 2,400 for telecommunications.
Second.
All in favor?
And then this is the line where you see the decrease, and again, that's. This will account for, it says 5 anticipated.
Wouldn't it be 6? Don't we have
Well,
5
yeah,
and it would be 6 and, oh, we're 4, okay.
Well, because there's another child at Great Bay Charter School, which is a different
Okay.
line.
Okay.
So she's also on
I'd move that amount.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor? Travel reimbursement, $1,500.
Yep.
I'll move that $1,500.
That's something that I heard in the face. Take breath. All in favor? Alright.
Yeah, this flat, we'll keep it flat.
I'll move that 12,000 for supplies.
I'll second.
All in favor? Software, 10,300, that's flat.
And then flat again.
I'll move that one.
Second.
All in favor? Equipment flat at 9,300.
I'll move that amount.
I'll second.
Alright. All in favor?
Dues and fees we brought down a little bit.
Okay. I'll move that amount for dues and fees.
Molly, you want a second? Sure. Okay, all in favor?
And that's
Alright.
it for the 1,200.
Sweet.
I have got here a couple other pages in the book if you want.
Yeah, you've got
And look at
what,
the transportation.
transportation?
Yeah, so one of them, the first one I dog-eared is 2120 is, that's the tree speaker.
Oh,
Have you talked about that or not?
yeah, what number is that one on?
So it's 2120-4.
Oh,
We already voted on that.
We're good.
Good,
We're all set.
all right.
You're good on that?
This is for 1 day, right, for the year?
No, this is for the whole year.
For 1
2
day?
days a week,
Oh, she comes 2 days a week.
yes.
That's good. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a bargain.
It is, but she's
It is.
It is?
It is. She's doing a lot.
well, that's,
She's
that
doing
number
a
is
lot.
2/5 of her. I thought that was 1/5.
So did I, and I was going bananas because I
That's
figured it out.
2/5.
40%.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
40%, that's not
Not so
bad.
bad.
I thought
Yeah.
it was 10%.
Yeah.
I see. We already talked about that one.
I'm glad.
2146 is related services. But those are all salaries.
Okay.
You probably don't want to talk about Those are OTs and PTs and speech.
Yeah, we're holding off,
Yep.
yeah, we're holding off on those,
Yeah.
but we
Transportation.
We did other
we
stuff
did
already,
professional
yeah.
services, yeah, okay.
Okay, you all set with special needs transportation?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we.
Oh, the
We
transportation,
haven't
no.
done transportation yet,
Oh.
so it's 27, is that 27?
I have 2,700, yeah.
Okay, what number?
On page 2700-3. And again, this account number is on your paper here. I want to make sure you saw that decrease from the 568 down to
451.
568, 451.
Does anybody have any questions on
I'll move the amount of $451,564 for special needs transportation.
that? I'll second that. Any questions, all in favor?
Little pink dog ear pages.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Back up to 2635.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yeah.
Great, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Run and be free. Yes.
All right, I just, do you want to give those to somebody else? Give you your copy with it.
Oh, yeah, I'll hold them just in case. Thank you.
How much do we spend on gifted and talented students?
That's part of the regular ed, so
So there's nothing special
No.
for gifted and
No.
talented?
We don't have any.
it's all done through differentiation and
Thank you.
All right, one going. First one, am I mistaken? Am I in the right spot?
I move that account.
60 cents? Yep, sorry. Any questions on $60,000? No, we're good, good, all in favor? Are you good, Jenny?
Yep.
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 Grounds repairs, we're gonna keep that level, 46.7. I'll move on that one.
Second,
Any questions? All in favor? Playground maintenance, level at 21,000.
I move that amount.
Second. Any questions? All in favor? 3,500 for vehicle operation, flat funded.
I'll move that amount.
I'll second that one. All in favor? Security software, Enforce and Alice, that's level funded. I'll move that one.
I'll second.
All in favor? What section? Transportation. None of my stuff, so, regular bus contract, which is our contract, what we have to pay.
And what year are we in this contract?
This is year 2,
Year 2?
Yeah.
Of,
3 plus 2. So I could technically go back at 3, or I could look at a plus 2. They do it that way.
so it's year 2 of 3.
And then you could do a plus 2.
So it could be year 2 of
5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
2 of either 3 or 5.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see what next year brings. They've changed the not management, but the people that manage it. It's all new people, so.
Whose discretion is it to be either 3 or 5, or is it mutual with them?
It's mutual with them. It's really, we talk about rates, bus needs, because we
Yeah.
have in our contract, if we need certain percentage buses have to be so new,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I would move that. Contractual.
Second.
All in favor? That's special needs transportation. Athletics, that's level funded.
I would move that.
Second.
Any questions on? All in favor? Alright, field trips. So they propose to be level funded. Do we want to vote on it? Do we want to talk about field trips? Do we want to wait until Neil and Amber get here at 7?
I like that idea.
Well, yeah, how can we be level funded when we know gas and all that's going up?
They just don't go on as many.
Exactly.
Or
They
they,
have a little.
Yeah.
or they get, like, the trustees, we also have the PTA that gives, that is
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they help
arrangement that
with
they give to, so
Okay.
that's how
Yeah.
we are able to do it.
Alright, so we'll skip that, we'll come back to it. 2700-6, other transportation. We are on McKinney Vento students. Level funded, 30,000.
I'll move it.
Gotta jump in. It's like the Jeopardy button. All in favor?
We could do that, right? That might be fun.
It would liven things up. All right, 2800 is done. All right, we've got benefits next.
Is, I'm thinking we're on 2900-2.
Yes.
This year, we're getting guaranteed rates. It's not a it's not an estimate anymore.
Exactly, it's not an estimate anymore. I took my rates out because I needed to share them with, Cessna. Did I put them in yours? We just got, yes.
I haven't, it says average 11.1.
Yes, so that was the guesstimate when we were, well, that's the average of the 3, but they've changed the way, I wanna see which sheet it tells us. Yep, it's not on this either.
One more. There it is. 11.8.
Yeah, that's the average, but they don't do that, they give us an average. However, each program now is a percentage rather than, so when I have to calculate it out, they give me, like the CESPA, has a plan, and that was 23.9% increase.
Oh.
Teachers have a set plan, and their rate was a set amount. And then, so we have 4 health insurance plans. They were all different increase rates. That's new this year. All years prior, it was the average. This is the average.
So it's down from 14.2?
Yes. But it's all in different things.
Right.
So depending on the cost of the plans, it could
That's
be.
basically because less usage, less need.
Less claims.
Yes, it's all based on claims.
That's the
and
word I was looking for.
we work really hard on doing wellness.
We're trying.
Well, it only takes a couple catastrophic. and
That's right.
Truth.
So we could go ahead with 2900-2, that amount, 3,523,233.
We're good on.
I can move that.
Second.
I'll move that amount.
All right. Questions? All in favor? 2900-4, group life insurance.
Dental.
Oh, dental.
Oh, did I skip them?
Yeah,
It's because you had an extra page in there.
I did.
Right. Do I have it?
Is that with Northeast Health?
Delta.
Oh, it's just on the back.
Delta Dental.
Yeah.
And every school district got 5%.
Yeah.
It was across.
Yeah.
Oh. All in favor? Now.
I'll look back.
That's level funded.
Now you're on life.
Now.
Yes, now on life insurance, 2900-4, level funded, 18,171. I'll move that amount.
My policy rate has not been approved yet. They haven't
Okay.
sent them out, so I don't foresee it going up much. So I level funded it. I won't know for a while.
Okay.
Last year we knew in October. This year we have not. We have not paid yet.
Okay, I'll move that.
One second.
I think, I thought Andrea did it, Jenna did it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't write that.
It's okay.
And then Jennifer.
Yep.
All in favor? Alright, long-term disability. Is that kind of the same thing? Interest rate funded?
Yeah. Yeah.
Waiting on a rate?
Waiting on the rate. I don't foresee it to go up. Like we have a little wiggle room, even if it went up a little bit.
Approximately, how many people, say in the last 5 years, have put in a claim for that?
I
It's
think.
great to have. I'm
No,
not
honestly, I think I've had
suggesting.
one claim since I've been here.
I think it's a great benefit that we
One claim
provide
since
people.
I've been here. And they're still on that claim, but
Yeah.
I'll move that amount, long-term disability.
I'll second that. All in favor? Is what it is.
Yeah. I'll move that.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Is that rate pretty consistent?
yes. And actually, if New Hampshire Charter, you'll see it went down a little bit, but the FICA's been pretty consistent. That, however, that proposed budget does have the new positions in it because it's proposed. So if I can adjust this, if you guys would like, if we decide not to add those positions. Well,
Okay.
you voted on it,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yes, we voted
Yeah,
on it.
so that,
We have
that
it.
we're fine, we're good, okay. I just wanted you to know that it is in that.
Okay, retirement, non-cert contribution, it's 383,548.
I'd move that amount.
Second.
Any questions, all in favor? Okay. Certified contributions, 1.981. Yeah, my goodness, just right here. Any questions? Okay, here, I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor? Limit contribution, 9564.
I'll move that.
I'll second. All in favor? Workers' comp, 76,377. So that did go up.
That is the
Little
only
bit.
one that I did get
You got that
the
one,
invoice
okay.
for, yep.
I'll move that.
Second.
All in favor? Vacation buyback. I'll move that amount. I'll second.
Remind me what the DW is.
Where it says vacation day buyback dash DW
The DW.
district.
Oh, district-wide.
District-wide.
Got it.
So the district-wide would be, so I don't have to break it down
Yeah, no,
to,
that's-
school, yeah.
I'll move that.
We got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All in favor? Okay, so 403B. We talked about the 403B last year.
Yes, and last year you said to bring it back up this year, so I will bring it up.
So Molly wasn't here. I'm fuzzy on it. If she tell us which one it is.
So when I go through budget season and I work with the New Hampshire ASBO team, and I am, since we don't have an HR department, I work with the New Hampshire HR group, and we pull together and we look at everybody's contracts and what's going on for the year, and benefits and not benefits and who has what. So you can kind of, everybody tries to work together to see what everybody has, so that to negotiate, right? The biggest one that admins have and have had for a long time has been a 403B. And I think that I put in 3% of salaries for each admin, so it would be the leadership team, and that would be part of their contract. Every district in the Seacoast area has it, except for us, and just.
Okay. So, choose a principal, let's just say.
Right.
What would their amount be?
Well, if you do round
So
numbers,
I when I did it, I calculated out. I should have printed that
like
sheet for you.
100,000, Ryan, what would you base on?
Let me grab it. I have the sheet.
So it would be $3,000.
Yeah, averagely.
That's it.
And we don't currently, nobody's on 403B right now.
Well, if they are, it's their own personal choice,
Right, but we're not-
But we do
I was-
not contribute, no.
I was looking ahead to the next page.
Yeah.
So right now, for retirement, are you guys just paying a pension?
We
You guys
do.
have
We have New
for
Hampshire
retirement.
retirement. Yeah.
So how many people total on the leadership team?
12.
12. So this is new.
This is new. If you want to hold it until after we talk about salaries, I understand that. But yes, it is new. It would have to be adjusted on our contract.
Yeah, it's an average of about 3,500, give or take, 3,500.
Yeah.
A year.
I think we should hold it until we talk about administrative salaries.
Yep, I can also, what I can do, the reason why I don't print it out is because the spreadsheets are crazy long. They're crazy long because they talk about how many days you work, how many, like, it's long. But I can send you what I get from New Hampshire, from the HR departments around what salaries look like, what benefits look like, just so you can see what we've been looking at.
Which we should do that.
Yeah, I can send it,
you
like,
should send that
I think
before we talk about
Yes.
salaries, so let
I will
us,
do that,
and let us get ahead of that. So did we add sorry, I flipped the page.
So
because we're holding on
that fees is for flex spending. So that's we pay these fees to have for health insurance. So for flex spending, we allow our teachers, our paras, anybody to go on a flex spending plan, and it costs us money to have this plan, to maintain it and track it and whatever, and that's the fees for that.
Which is fine. It just looks like you added in the 403B. It looks like we have
No, that is
Separate.
separate
Do
for.
On their own.
So we have a TSA company that we have to report because it's a deduction, right? And so
Gotcha.
those deductions, even though it has nothing to do with us,
Okay.
we have to take it out of their check. And so we have a company that we have to send this information to. They put in all of everybody's individual plans and handle that. We just So it's like, there's a middleman for
Yeah,
us.
that's fine. So would we have extra administrative fees if we
No.
added? Okay, that's what I was. All right. Just vote on that one, it's level funded. All set. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, we're, administrative fees, benefit management, 2900-11. Oh, okay, sorry, that's okay. So, are you okay with that? Yes, that's okay. That's okay. All right. 3110.
So that's
more, and then take our
salaries. So you would want to look at that, that's
Yeah,
on Mary. And then really, the food service salaries we can talk about, but at the end, whatever you decide really does not affect this budget because food service is 500 in, 500 out. 500,000 in as revenue and 500,000 out as expenditures. So, and they're part of that 500. So whatever we put in is really whatever Mary, we think Mary can handle to, for sales to cover her employees, right? So we can talk about that when we hit salaries.
Is this all the people that work in?
Yes.
It is?
Yep.
Okay.
Why don't, do you want to, sorry. Do you want to do 5100 and have that done? That services, and then we'll, your financial stuff, and then we'll decide
Yes.
how long we dive into
Please.
services. 740, so 5100-2, principal payments. These are on our bonds, 745,000, and that, we pay what we owe, right? So it costs what it costs.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
All in favor? Same thing, if this is interest instead of capital. Same thing.
I'll move that.
I'll second. All in favor?
Which one's that? Molly?
Yeah.
Molly, yeah.
All right.
Right. And we've got
We don't even have a
placeholder,
dollar
we
in
don't even
that.
have a dollar amount, do we need to do anything?
We could put a dollar in, I don't think we had one last year, it's just transfers of funds, so if we wanted to, we have the special ed fund, and if we wanted to refund it, we'd have to do a transfer of funds through here. That kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll make a motion to put $1 in the transfers.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? So this is balance at June 2022 is 171,000, is that still there?
I should double check, because we do have some interest that's gone up and down because it is,
So what will we need to do to use it? If we needed it.
So if we needed it, I
We just
actually
have
have to contact the holder. We have to put it in the newspaper that we're gonna hold a meeting, vote on it, and then they would cut us a check. And then if we have used the funds once, we never replenished it. So if we ever decide special's getting, we really should have a little bit more padding in that fund, that's how you would do that.
We want to take a break?
All right, I'll move that we go into non-public under RSA, whatever.
Second. All right.
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Now I can get it.
All right, roll call.
Is there a second?
No,
Yeah,
Jenny was second.
Second. Roll call, aye.
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 We're in non-public.
Yeah. Well,
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All right, all in favor?